giving you the full ride, baby. We're coming in with this one. About to give it to you all the way. Because that's how this team played today. All the way. All the way, baby. What, you thought we were going to, like, give up a 20-point lead to the Bucks or something? Who do you think we are? The Miami Heat? I mean, because that's what I thought. I know I ain't alone. That's why I don't feel bad saying it. They should feel bad for doing it. Right? Let's hit that shit. Can we hit this shit? I'm gonna hit this shit. I'm gonna take another bite of my flan and whipped cream, which I can really feel getting my heart going. And I'm gonna take another sip of a cafecito that I just made. Pics coming up soon on my threads. Follow me on threads. threads.net/@studiomogura. Studio MOGURA. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of myself. I just want to hear this played out because it's a great win. Great win, man. I mean, we needed a win like this to smash a good team right in the face. A team that thinks it's better than us. Smash them. I think I ate too much sugar. I think we need to stop this. This is getting too high. Can we stop this, please? Can we stop this, please? You gotta stop it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Jimmy, respect to you, and we love you, Jimmy, and whatever's happened, we're sorry, but we got your back. No worries. Do your thing. Sort your shit out. Love and prayers for you, Jimmy. Now please get up, because your penis is in our face right now, and we can't have that. Can you go, please? Jimmy, I know you want to, please, Jimmy, please, thank you. He cultura. He cultura, he cultura, he cultura, da, da, da. He cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura. However you say it, that's how you say it, now and forever. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura. Studio MOGURA. See, I told you. You know, that messed me up because I did it before. Studio MOGURA. Double time. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the CashApp. Buy my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble for the hardcover. A chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Basically a collection of some of my, a few of my crazy adventures as a raver in Miami. Going to this party called Full Moon Nights that actually took place. It was basically an all-ages rave that probably shouldn't have taken place, but it did. But it was amazing. I'm glad it did. Because it was amazing. So check that out. Please support. That's a great way to support me. Great way to support an independent writer. And an independent publisher, which is me, because I publish my own stuff and I make my own stuff. So please support me. Don't support the AI. Support me. The fuck. Check out octotaku.com where I have my blog and I have my comic shop, which I'm getting to. I got a comic today. You know what? I don't even know what the fuck it was, but whatever. We'll find out at some point. Maybe some point. I don't know. But whatever. I just order comics and they're just piled like a corner filled with comics that I haven't opened. I don't know what to tell you. But check it out. If you see something you like buy it, and I guess I'll get a notice via PayPal at some point, and then I'll send it to you. Or just hit me up on threads.net, which, again, I keep forgetting I have to add that. So check out my threads, threads.net, threads.net/studiomogura. That's my social media hub. Don't go to I'm on Instagram, but my Instagram, I really don't post anything anymore. I'm done with it. I'm going straight to threads. So please check that out. And lastly, and I gotta say most importantly, check out my music, please. My Studio Mogura link. My Spotify link, which is the last QR code. It takes you to my playlist, my complete playlist of my entire discography dating back to 1999 up until last year with my latest release, The Reflection Blinds You from Seeing the Truth. Please. That's the easiest way to support me, the best way to support me, because all you got to do is just stream my music. You stream my music, and you're going to find one track that you like, and you just stream it over and over, and that's all you got to do. Is just stream my music, man. It's a lot of music there. If you like EDM, you're gonna like a lot of my tracks. If you like hip hop, you're gonna like a lot of my tracks. If you like punk stuff, you're gonna probably like a lot of my tracks. So check it out. Are we good? I think we're good. I don't know if I really should be doing it, but I'm having coffee, un cafecito ahí, and I'm having flan with whipped cream on top. So I should have probably got water, but instead I got lemonade and green tea. So I'm on it. You have to eat flan from a glass little bowl thing. That's the best way. Off a glass. What's going on? Oh, we're doing a show? I'm supposed to entertain you? You want to hear something witty and funny? I could have said something. I almost said something, but I was like, no, that's just mean. I don't want to be that. I don't really care. I'm not gonna go that route. I'm not gonna take the route of the guy that's gonna say, "Oh, Bucks suck," or "Bucks are good." You want to hear something funny? Bucks are good. Bucks are better than Heat. How about that? I could have said that, but I didn't want to say it, even though I said it already. So I'm sorry that I said it, but not really. Why should I be? I mean, what are you thinking in Bucks land right now? I know what you're thinking because I know what PTSD and I know what shock looked like and what it sounds like. And it basically sounds like how that arena sounded today. All game long. Just utter shock. Like, they knew going into this game, like, they thought they were going to get it. And it was going to be a great, easy win. We can beat the Heat because Jimmy Butler's not playing. And, they lost 2 guys in the other game. So this will give me a very easy win. And they took the foot off the gas. Because the Heat saw this as a desperation win. This was a very important win in our system, which I had mentioned it to my dad, and he was like, that's kind of an original thought, so you should do something with that. So I think I got to find like an hour or two to write an article about this. Like I mentioned it in the last show. How the Miami Heat, I'm sure other teams do this. I don't want to think it's an original thought, but it's like, he just says that because that's the first time he's heard it. So, but basically, like, I believe that the Miami Heat have separated the season, 82 games, into 7, into 7-game series. So you have 12 sets of 7 games, which gives you the 82, right? 77, 74, or 84, whatever. However many games. 84, I guess. I think it's 84, 82. I don't know. But if it's 84, it's supposed to be like 12 sets of 7, right? And basically, I like to treat that as like 7-game series. So instead of looking at the one individual game that like, oh, they lost to the Knicks, oh, they lost to the thing, whatever. Did they win? Did they have a positive record within the 7-game stretch of within 7 games? Did they have a positive record? Did they come out like, if in that 7 games, did they win 4 games in that 7-game bunch, right? Because if they win in a playoff series is 7 games. So if you win 4 games in a playoff series, you win the series. So if you look at the season like that, if you look at how many of these 7-game series that we can bunch together, how many of them can the Heat win? By winning 4 of those games. Now, if you're trying to be like the number 1 seed, you're gonna be like playing like Boston, which is Boston. Their belief is just win the number 1 seed, get the number 1 seed, get home court advantage. That's the most important thing, so you can control the playoffs. What the Heat have discovered is that doesn't fucking matter anymore. Okay, home court advantage doesn't matter anymore because if your team comes out there shooting threes like it can or like it does or like they're on fire, you're not winning that game 7 at home. The Heat have been on both sides. They've won at game 7 and they've lost at home for the game 7. So they don't want to look at game 7 as this important thing anymore. They don't want to be scared by that shit. That's why when they went to game 7 over at Boston, they just ripped them up. On top of the fact they're kind of gluttons for pain and they like to have their backs against the wall, which is like just some weird kinky shit that they're into. But whatever, we don't kink shame here. Although I have to say that on Threads I got lit up because somebody posts like a picture of like that was like a meme, and it was like ladies, what would you do if you walked into his bedroom and it looked like this? And it was like, they had the cross kind of like bore, the cross kind of thing where you tie someone to a cross board, and then they had like this like kind of horse kind of hump thing where that's where you doggy style people on there, and then they had like he had basically a like a king size bed, but it was surrounded by a cage. It was like a fucking cage. It wasn't like, had like a couple whips and chains or whatever. It was a cage. It was a fucking cage, bro. It was some shit that a sex trafficker fucking has. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be polite and all that kind of shit because everyone was like, "Oh, don't kink shame," and it's like, I'm not kink shaming. I'm pointing out that there's a cage in the room of this person that you supposedly are on a first date with, and you walk into their house for the first time. Like, you walk into some dude's house for the first time, and if you did not meet him at like a bondage club, okay, like that's not cool. That's not okay. It's not okay to walk into someone's house for the first time and you're gonna meet his parents and shit, and he's got a fucking cage. There, ahí. Put them in the fucking cage and we're gonna fuck you till 5 a.m. Like, that's not cool. The first time you walk in, If you met this person at like an orgy, or like at a fucking, eyes wide shut fucking mansion party where everybody's fucking wearing masks and shit and fucking doing all crazy shit. Like, if you met that person there and that was your first date and you want to go hang in my house, cool. You walk into the house, you expect to see a fucking cage there, because that's the kind of shit this guy does. You know him already. But if you meet this guy like at fucking Starbucks, and you're like, hey, why don't you come over and watch some fucking, the game or some shit? Oh, cool, bro. And you go over to the person's house and the motherfucker's got a cage and shit. That's just, I know. You know what I mean? That's not kink shaming. That to me is a red flag. Okay, that's you know what? Adios. Let's go watch the game at a bar instead. How about that? Okay? And don't you dare drink some shit while you're at his place with that fucking cage like that, because you're gonna wake up fucking tied to that shit. Ain't ever coming out. No one ever heard from you, seen from you, know of you again. Done. Goodbye. El cuento está terminado. Corolín corolado. Oh, you want to talk about the game? I want to have some more coffee. Another little piece of flan. Another bite. It's going to destroy me. I love it. Oh, amazing. So, in treating the 7-game series, like, if you listen to the last show, you would have seen that, well, we went on this fucking 8-game losing streak kind of bullshit and all that. And then right before the All-Star game, we had 7 games. We had a nice bunch of 7 games. Excuse me, the flan is trying to kill me right now. Right? You like those sounds? I know you do. So we had a nice 7-game stretch, right? So we wiped the slate clean. Forget the fucking goddamn 8-game losing streak. Forget the 2 games after that. Forget the fucking okay, whatever. Let's see if we can win this 7-game. And out of these 7 games, can we win 4 before the All-Star break? Right? We had 2 dropped the Celtics game. And I think we dropped something else, right? Didn't we? What was it? Yeah, we dropped the Celtics game, and we dropped the Clippers game. Okay? Because it started on at the Wizards, this last 7-game stretch, right? So, yeah, we won the Wizards game. Lost to the Clippers, so we were 1-1. We won the Magic game, we were 2-1. We won the Spurs game that we didn't have a Cultura for that game. Why the fuck are we going to have one? That is a bullshit fucking Spurs. So get the fuck out of here with the Wemby guy. I don't give a shit. Come at me when you're fucking not the worst team in the league, okay? Didn't need to bother wasting my time with that game. That's why we watched the Celtics game. But then Celtics won. So go fuck yourselves. So then at that point, we were 3-2 going into this Bucks game, right? And one thing that you have to always remember about the playoffs is that the closeout game is the hardest game. It's the hardest game that there is. That's the toughest game. That's always what they always say. The toughest game is a closeout game, right? So we've had kind of this closeout game. You know, we were up 3-1 in this stretch of 7 games. We won the Wizards game, the Magic game, and the Spurs, right? We lost to the Clippers, and then we went to the Celtics to try and close it out, right? And what happens? We lose to the Celtics. It was a close, tough game. But we also lost a bunch of other people, I think, whatever. Yeah, because that was on Super Bowl, and it was supposed to be a thing, and it was at 2 p.m. It was a terrible game. Like, we should have never played that game. That game should have never been played. Like, that game should have been moved to the day before. It should have been on Saturday, but never should have had that game at 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Like, I didn't like that. So we lose that game, so we're going into now the Bucks game. Let's just say, 3-2, right? So it was really important to try and close this team out, because if we lose against the Bucks, essentially going into the 76ers game, it's a 3-3 tie, and that's like the game 7. So this team came to play today. The Bucks, they've got a better record. They've got an all-star guy going to the all-star game, and this and that, whatever. And they're not really concerned about this game. They're more concerned about, man, I want to go on all-star break already. This team, but the Heat have things to do. We have to fix things because we lost Richardson, we lost Rozier, and for right now we lost Butler. So it sucks that all those things happen, and it sucks that happened to Butler, but ultimately what's kind of, I don't want to say ironic and I don't want to say funny because it's not, but it's interesting how that happens, and it frees up enough space so we could finally get a look at Jovic, and Jovic finally shines. And there's no way in hell I ever want to see this. I want to see this guy signed to this team. You got to sign him. You can't let him go into the G League. You can't let him go anywhere else. You got to make sure this guy's on this team and this guy gets minutes. Consistent fucking minutes. I don't give a shit whose minutes he takes. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's fucking Butler, or it's Bam, it's Hero. I don't give a shit. But he's not going to take those people's minutes because he's going to play with those people. It's going to be, Jovic, right now, Jovic, Robinson, Hero, Bam, and Butler. That's the force. That's a good team right there. That's good size. It's good defense. It's good shooting. Being able to take Butler out of that rotation and plug in people like Hawkes, people like, Caleb Martin, everybody else that we got, Highsmith, that's going to always be a really solid lineup. Okay? I'd like to see him play with, with Robinson too. Robinson, him, Hero, Bam, and Butler. It's this guy's got to get minutes. It's just, that's all we can say at this point, because if he doesn't get minutes, I mean, it's real stupid. You got to get him minutes. You got to get a lot of these younger guy minutes, because we have some good guys. There's guys that are good. I'd like to see Kane get more minutes, man, but he will now in this stretch. So maybe tomorrow he'll get minutes. So yeah, it's so winning this game, boom, look, we won this series. Even if we lose tomorrow in the 76ers, who gives a shit? We played a 7-game series, and we won 4 out of the 7 games. That's all we need. That's all we need to be doing. We don't need to be going crazy, trying to win every single game. You crazy? was still a nice last bite of the flan. But that's what's going to ultimately happen with the Celtics and the Bucks is that they're going to, and the 76ers, everyone right now is killing themselves trying to get the top 4 spots, and the Heat are like content with, no, you know what, we'll get whatever we get, and wherever we're going to go, we're going to beat you anyways. Doesn't matter. That's an insane attitude to have, and those are the attitudes of a really hard team to beat. Like, I know it doesn't seem that way for anybody else, even Heat fans. You're like, really? You really think this team's going to go? And I'm like, I saw it last year. This team's really no different. I don't see a real... I mean, Jason Tatum's playing great. And when he plays the Heat, he's now playing the Heat a little bit with extra oomph. More oomph than I've ever seen. You know? But at the same time, it's just... I don't... He's completely different in the playoffs. That's from what I've seen. So you got to imagine this time around, he's going to try... I mean, it's going to be Celtics Heat again. It's going to come down to that. Whoever wins Celtics Heat, that's who's going. It's not Bucks. It's definitely not Bucks anymore. Last bite of the flan with whipped cream. Oh, God. Oh, so good. I'm just slurping and slopping away. Loving it. Just like I love this win. Because, you know, that's the Heat really, you know, we've won some games, but we got to start beating the better teams in the Eastern Conference. And we got to start handing them, like, notices. Which is what happened today. You know, getting back to the whole PTSD talk of Milwaukee's that they went in there like expecting, you know, to win, and this happens. So this just makes them feel like deja vu. You know, like, hey, did we ever get out of the playoffs against this team? Because they're supposed to dominate this team. They made the move that they made for this team to go for the Heat. They didn't do it to win the championship. They didn't even do it to Celtics, to beat the Celtics. They did it to beat the Heat. So when you're sitting there and you're expecting a win against the Heat, and their best players out, and two of their starting point guards out, and then their other backup point guard guy is out, you expect to win this game. You do. Sorry, I have to get up and do something. You expect to win it. Sorry, I want to turn off the air because it's a little too loud. We gotta finish this bowl before we can pack the last of the candy corn, which is I have like one nug, just maybe like 3 bowls. So oh yeah, okay, now it's time. Let's go ahead and pack it right now. Let's go ahead. Let's pack it right now. So I can't wait to see how this team responds tomorrow. Because, I mean, we put a lot of energy into the game. A lot of energy. I'm glad that the game kind of ended early and it went by fairly quickly. It was a really fast game. Like, that game just came and went, you know? So, and I'm glad that happened because the Heat should get into Philadelphia, you know, fairly early. For, like, you know, an NBA team and then traveling and all that kind of. Usually they get in like 2 in the morning or some shit. So if everything goes well and there's no delays, like, they should get in no problem, you know? And I'm really eager to see how they respond tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting to see how they respond because, they played wire to wire. Very few times the Heat go wire to wire like this, where they just they put out the same energy that they put on the first quarter. They're putting it out in the fourth. I mean, this Heat doesn't blow people out by 30 points. That's crazy. That's to me the Bucks giving up. Which is fine because we do that shit too. But I just feel they haven't figured that out. They haven't figured out that the number one seed isn't really that important, and they're beating themselves up trying to get that. And the real thing is just find a spot, get a spot. Win enough games to get a spot, which is what the Heat are doing, and what the Heat are gonna do. I might end up. I'll probably do a Heat Cultura tomorrow. If it's a good game and the Heat win, I'll do a Valentine's Day Heat Cultura. I don't got nobody. I ain't getting into that now. It's a long story. It's too long of a story. So maybe I'll just come out and I'll cry to the world tomorrow. Oh man. Okay, so I had a little bit of Caballino. So we're gonna hit this candy corn. Number 6, hybrid indica, 29%. Let's go. Rock and roll. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. Tomorrow should be a good game. Man, I would like to go see it somewhere, but I'm just, I don't like to go out tomorrow. Too much traffic, the traffic is gonna be insane tomorrow. Everybody's gonna go out and have dinner and some shit. All the bars are gonna be packed. And I really don't like bars because I don't drink. But yeah, it's just gonna be too much. I feel so. Fuck that. But that's right. I have a chew stick. And a chew stick is like this little, it's like a vape pen kind of thing, with space age cake oil. It's like 70-something%. We could hit that too, but I don't know. I like to save that for when I go to work because it doesn't smell as much as regular weed. So I can hit it, and I don't need to hit it a lot. Just hit it one time, and usually I'm good. So what else is going on? I know there's lots of stuff going on, but I'm still trying to keep it here to Cultura. But we're done. We're done covering, the Bucks, and we're done with this game. It was nice for 2 seconds, and that's it. Moved on. Now it's time to focus on 76ers. So, but and the last thing I guess I'll say is I know after this game, that crowd and everybody in the Bucks was a little shocked by this because number one, at the end of the game, when the arena was out and the Heat had already left the court, the entire Bucks team gathered around the center and had like a little prayer circle. And that's interesting that they did that after this game. Okay, because I don't think they would do that after any other game, especially after last night when they beat the Denver Nuggets. They beat the Denver Nuggets, the night before. So they came in and they got wrecked by us. So I felt like that was like a whoa, shit, we got to be careful. Because you do need to be careful. I don't think you really want to face the Heat in the playoffs because we match up really well against the Bucks. I realize now. We've been playing these guys for a long time. Both teams are kind of similar, but I still see the same Bucks team. I see the Heat team has evolved. The Heat team has changed. The Heat team, that's what kind of caught these guys off guard today, is that They never seen Jovic. They never seen Walkaz. They never seen really these guys. I know I think we played the Bucks already once before, but still, they don't. They only think they think it's Jimmy, and they know Dougie Robinson, and they know Bam, and they know Hero, but they don't know the other guys. And the other guys today are the ones that really came out. So I think that kind of shocked them. I think we caught them off guard because normally they're like much bigger than the Heat, like with Giannis and Bobby Portis, and Lopez. Like they're always have much bigger guys. But when you put Jovic in there, like he was able to kind of equalize that, and then all of a sudden he's giving Lopez problems, he's giving Giannis problems, he's giving Bobby Portis problems, he's encouraging other people to give him problems, and then you see Walkez just not giving a fuck at all, just going right to the basket and just take it. Walkez has bro, that guy has guts, man. That guy's got guts because that guy he's gonna take it to you. He doesn't care. He wants to be a star. He wants to be a star. He wants to be a basketball player. He wants to go out there and he wants to be a leader on a team. Like he wants it. Same way that Hero wants it. He wants it, and that's killer mentality. And I like that. He's sometimes a little off. He's still a little shaky. He still makes rookie kind of mistakes. But for the most part, there's more good things that come out of Walkez when he's on the court than bad things. So yeah, man, Rookie of the Year, for sure, man. He's got to be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, even if he doesn't win it. Doesn't matter, but he's got to be in the conversation because he's doing really good. I know. I'm not gonna even really honestly worry about Rozier coming back or anything like that. Forget that. I'm not gonna worry about that shit because he's out with a sprained knee. That's a really long time. I think Josh Richardson's gone. He's done. I think that's it. We've probably seen the last of him. If not, we see him back in playoffs. But even then, I don't know because a separated shoulder. That's still to come back from. And I'm sure they gave a couple weeks or something like that. But it's just, I imagine playoffs is when we'll see him again. Consistent minutes and maybe getting back to form, maybe. And if not, then you can't play him. You gotta go with somebody else because someone else is hot. Look what happens when you don't play him. You give somebody else that is much better minutes. Jovic, you gotta give him Josh Richardson minutes. That's it. Whatever minutes you were gonna give to Richardson, you give them to him. You give it to him. There we go. I was happy to see Swider finally in the game. But it was at the end, and it was all scatterbrained, and people were being weird and shit, and I don't know. It sucked that he got picked a couple times, and he kind of didn't look too good, but that's just, he's very similar to Robinson, so he's just got to get minutes. He's got to play more, he's got to get in rhythm. Once he does, he's really good. We've seen it in preseason. I really want to see what we saw in preseason. I want to see that in the middle of a game and shocking motherfuckers. Who the fuck is this guy? Hero's looking very good. There was a great game for Hero. He came in there, looked really great, and his parents were there, so he played really great in front of his parents, which is awesome. But he's got to carry his momentum. He's got to carry it into All-Star break. Got to get healthier. Got to get more in rhythm, back in tune, so that when they come back of All-Star break, it's just they're hitting singles, and just getting as many wins as you can, but exuding as little energy as possible, and ensuring that you are simply just creating a rhythm to take into the playoffs. And then just try and be consistent and win as many games as possible so that you have a spot in the playoffs. Don't worry about we have to win every game. Don't worry about you don't want to lose every game or lose too many games, but you definitely don't want to be oh my god, we got to win every game, because you're gonna get no. Don't worry about that. Just ensure that we're in the top 10 at this point. It'd be nice to be in the top 8 so we don't have to fucking deal with that shit like we did last time. But this team, it was a huge factor last season that this team did not get rest. Not a negative factor, but it was a huge, it was a thing that really helped this team. Not getting a break ensured that this team was in a really good rhythm going into that first like official playoff game. Having to play the Bulls and win at the end like that, like we went into the next game and we were just ready to go. And the other team had to go through what we went through. So they didn't wake up. By the time they started waking up, it was too late. And this team, for as good as it is, I don't know. We're gonna see after All-Star break. That's how we're gonna know. Okay, try and make a mental note that if this team comes out hot after All-Star break, like they can come from All-Star break and win their first game and play really well and play in rhythm, then we should be okay if we take a break. Which I think we should, just because we've played a lot of. I mean, I don't even want to say we played a lot of games because guys are taking off and all this kind of shit. And now if Jimmy comes back after all this extended time, like he's rested, he should be rested, and his thing is just getting back in shape and getting back in rhythm. But he should not. He should be healthy. He should be okay. There should be no swelling on the ankle, no swelling on the knee, nothing. So I don't want, you know what I mean? So like we should be able to just come in and boom, all right off the ground. But if this team has to have a couple games before getting into rhythm again, then it might be very helpful if this team actually doesn't get like a bye or a week or two off. It really is going to depend at the end how we're looking, how as far as health goes. Because if we need it, we need it. But if we don't, like, fuck it, let's just go. Let's just make sure that we start the playing tournament and we start the whole thing with everybody at 100%. And we should be okay. And I think it'll be better because then we go, the same thing will happen last year where we go into that first playoff game, like, in rhythm and fret and ready to go and kind of like with the blood already pumping and warmed up. While the other team's going to, like, need a game or two to get it going. Duncan Robinson has to be consistent with this shooting, man. So we got to see this again tomorrow night. We got to see him play really well tomorrow night. See him nail some shots tomorrow night because there's no guarantee that Jovic is going to do the same thing. I mean, that was crazy what that guy did today. That was crazy. That was usually people do that to us. A random guy that comes out of nowhere and just has the biggest game of his life. That's what they were saying in Milwaukee, probably. Oh, look at how this happens to us. It's always this guy, some guy we don't never heard of. He comes in and has to put some game. I don't know. But it always happens to us, I know. It does. But Duncan's got to come in there. He's got to still show consistency. And Bam finally getting that close-up shot. He was nailing it today. Which the hook shot and like the little bunny shot that he usually does, and the shot from the free throw line, like, man, he finally was catching nothing but net, and it was looking really good. So that's what we want to see, a little bit more of that. But this team is now going to be super Frankenstein, so you got to watch out because the mad scientist is going to be working now overtime, and when Spill the Mad Scientist starts coming up with shit, man, I mean, that could either be incredibly good and make this team fucking take off, or it could fucking derail us, and then he just fucking runs us to the ground. So I'm just, hold on to your butts. That's why we put that meme up. Hold on to your butts because the Mad Scientist is about to fucking start. This guy's going to come in and he's going to just try another lineup. But I think he should go with the same lineup he started this game with. Go with the same lineup, man. See how it goes. Although I just remembered right now, Joel Embiid's not playing. I just remembered that Joel Embiid isn't playing anymore. He's out. So this is a really big win. This is a big game for us. We gotta try and win this. It's really important. If we can beat 76ers tomorrow, that would be really good for us. So yeah. Oh man, I just thought of that. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Completely forgot. All right. So Yeah, that to look like. Is Tyrese Maxey playing? Oh, Kyle Lowry is going to play with the 76ers. Do they say anything? No. Oh, this is like a betting shit. I don't know betting shit. I want you to just tell me who's fucking playing. But Sixers to sign, this was 3 days ago. Kyrie agrees to buy out, reaches $2.8 million deal with the 76ers. So we'll be probably facing Kyle Lowry, so he's going to be like all telling us what to do and telling everybody what we do. I guess. Maybe. But I guess they need it because they don't got nobody. That they're dealing with a bunch of injuries and stuff like that. So, yeah. So Joel Embiid is out. They should bring in Hassan Whiteside out of retirement. Yeah, I think it's done. I think Joel Embiid's done. I think he might be done like in the NBA. Not done with the 76ers. There's too many injuries, bro. At the age of 29? Age of 29, man. This guy, look how many injuries this guy's had. It's just, sometimes it's not worth it, dude. You've paid enough. You probably made enough money. It sucks that he doesn't win anything, but it might be better to just close that chapter, bro, because what are you going to do? He's not going to be back this season. He's not. What the hell is he going to do? What are you going to do? He's got an injury to the lateral meniscus of his left knee following an MRI. Sidelined through the weekend. Headed for surgery. Expected to miss at least 6 weeks. They're going to shut his ass down. Shut his ass down for the season. Something like that. You don't need that guy. You don't need him. I mean, you do need him, but you don't need him. But you do need him. Because you basically don't have anybody anymore. So, yeah. Sure. I'm sure you'd be just fine. So where are we at? We're at the 7, tied with the Magic. Thank God we have that win over them. So that's basically going to be it for the whole fucking way. And we gotta fucking try and move up a little bit, man. We gotta try and move up. I mean, I know the 76ers should start dropping like fucking flies, man. Like the Bucks apparently also since January are 500. There are 500 teams since January. Okay. In the last 10, they're 4-6. The last 10, they're 4-6. And you saw how that team played today? You know how that team played? That team played like a Doc Rivers team. So there you go. The Knicks are 6-4, but they've lost 3 in a row. So, para ti. And the Celtics are just there, 8-2. We won 5 with a 5-game win streak here, getting everything that they want. Oh, we're better than everybody. 42-12. Blah 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 blah. Let me tell you something, bro. I think the Heat are gonna want to just be the 8th seed, just so they can face the fucking Celtics in the first round and get rid of them quick. Knock them out quick, like they did to the Bucks. That's what I want. I think that's what I want. What do you want? What do you want? You want Bucks first, or you want Celtics first? You want the Cavs first? No, I don't want the Cavs first. That'll be too competitive and too much of a pain in the ass. We want the Cavs to get, swiped away by somebody else. So, we want to catch that last spot because we want the Celtics. That's what we want. We want the Celtics right off the bat. We probably won't get that though. We'll end up getting like the Cavaliers or the Bucks or some shit like that. But it really just depends. Cause I think the 76ers are gonna really fall like these next couple of weeks. They're not gonna be. I mean, they're 3-7 in the last 10. Heat are 5-5. Magic are 6-4. The Hawks. I was gonna say the Hawks, but forget the Hawks. Get the fucking rats out. They're 6-4 in the last 10, but fuck them. Who cares? Nobody cares about them. The Cavaliers, they're the ones that are doing really good. They're 9-1 in the last 10. Cavaliers 9-1 in the last 10. So I don't know, but again, I think none of these teams scare me. None of these teams are. Not even the Celtics at 42-12. The Celtics, I'm just like, man, we just match up really well against them. So give me a 7-game series with them. Because Jason Tatum has to play like crazy how he's been playing for the whole 7 games. The whole 7 games. He's got to do it. And then I don't really. I think the rest of the guys are good, but that's not the same team. They've lost a lot of guys. It's different. Which is, impressive that they have this record. But I want to... We're different, too. We're still tweaking shit. And that's the beauty of this team is that we disguise ourselves as, like, a middle-of-the-pack, like, kind of like a low-end team. And then you face us in the playoffs, and it's a completely different story. This team wakes up. So, yeah, I think that's... I don't mind. I don't care who the fuck we face, man. Because I feel we're better than all the teams ahead of us. I feel we're, like, way better than all the teams ahead of us. Like, we haven't really played our best basketball yet. We haven't, there's always been some kind of thing happening. So, I think there's so much room for us to get better. But we took a really big step, I think, especially against the Bucks, we took a really big step in our defense because today we saw a new I usually when they do the wall thing against Giannis, it's like right in front of him and they create like the Great Wall of Giannis, and they go ahead and they create this wall as he's coming down the court, so he can't come and go from one end of the court to the other, dribbling it and like dunking it on your ass. Like they stopped that and they stopped like the layup and they stopped the Euro step that he does. When he comes down like that, so because you put like 3 guys in front, you build a wall like that. But today they were doing something interesting where I don't think I've ever seen them do this, where it's just like they're using the wall, but they're trapping him with the wall, so they boxed him in. Like one guy would be in front of him, and another guy would come in and just park his ass right there, and then literally force him to go the other way. Like they don't care if he goes the other way; they just make him go the other way. And I obviously I'm guessing they're making him go like against his shooting motion, so it was just a tougher shot for him. But I had never seen the way that they did it today. I'm sure they've done that shit to him before, and I just never noticed. But I really don't think so. I usually when they do the wall thing for Giannis, it's when he's coming down the court. You want to get in front of him and make him cough it up. This, they were going to him and literally trapping him with the box, trapping him with the wall. Which I found that to be a very interesting technique. Because I would have loved to have seen them do this to Joel Embiid tomorrow. But we're not going to see that. So if this worked against Giannis, it's going to be interesting to see if it can work against Tatum. And, if we get to the promised land and we have to face Jokic, I think... this is something we could use against him. But we got to get there first. That's really far ahead. So we got to get there, and we got to try and get there. It's not going to be easy. But, I the only reason why I would think I would like to get some rest for this team is because we had that gauntlet run last year, and we went from playing game all the way to the end, man, and that's a lot of games to play for somebody. But you know, this team has missed a bunch of games during the regular season, man. We've missed a bunch of games. We've had, I feel like they haven't. I mean, Hero missed a lot of games. Butler's missing games. I think Bam at some point missed games. Robinson missed games. So it's like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to make the excuse. Oh, these guys are gonna be tired. So nah, man. These guys, they should be enough. They should have enough. And if they put teams away when they're supposed to put them away, you can put them away in 4 games instead of 7. You're gonna be fine. This team has got to find its killer instinct again. It's got to find it's ravenous bloodlust, so it goes out there and just marauds teams like it did today. Like, we can do this to every team in the NBA. It is possible. You know, so, but we just got to make it happen. So, with that, we are going to, with that, I'll leave you because, yeah, 110. Okay, so we had enough, yeah. I just wanted to go a little bit longer because I know I left it running. I think it was like 15, 20 minutes or something before the show started. So, but whatever, who cares? So yeah, we'll be back here. You know, if tomorrow's a good game and we win it, I'll do Cultura. We'll do Valentine's Day Cultura. If not, then I don't know. Go fuck yourself. Do something else. So yeah, it's a great game. A great win. Still a lot of work to be done. We're okay because we won this whole 4-game series. So this was like the closeout game. So tomorrow's just really going to be really nice, fun game. So enjoy it. Don't even if we lose, don't get like, oh yeah. No, you don't have to. It's okay. We won. We won 4 games out of 7. We're fine. What these guys want to do is you want to get everybody back to healthy. We're gonna have to work this team out with these new guys and gotta sign Jovic, man. Jovic needs to get signed. Sign his ass to a contract. Let's go. I don't want to waste this guy. I don't want him to go anywhere else. He should be a part of this team. Okay. And again, prayers up to Jimmy, dude. You know, I hope he's okay. You know, we all hope he's okay. He's our guy. So just take your time, do your thing, and come back. And you know, this team will be able to manage. Not without him in the sense that we don't need him, but no, we do need him. You do need Jimmy. We need Jimmy. Don't ever fucking think that, oh, look how we won with all those guys and stuff. It's different in the playoffs, man. The playoffs, you see how bad the fucking Golden State Warriors are right now, and now all of a sudden they're good. They're good because Steph Curry has been going crazy, and if they just get a spot in the playoffs, that team is dangerous. That team can go all the way just simply because they got a guy that can win every fucking game. Okay? And that's a superstar. And that's what a superstar does. It's like, sure, you gotta have a bad team during the regular season, but if you get into the playoffs, you can make it happen. Because the playoffs, stars shine in the playoffs. As much as it is a team game, and as much as you think, oh, everybody's gotta play good, no. It's really, a lot of it comes down to, we've seen it for years. We've seen it with LeBron. We've seen it with Jordan. We've seen it with everybody. In the playoffs, stars shine. You have to have a guy that can win you the game. You have to have the guy. You know, you don't just need a guy that can win you a game. You need to have the guy that can win you the game. You know, and we've seen that Jimmy Butler is a guy that can win you the game. He just come up short, you know, but he can win it. He can do it. So you want him. You need him in the playoffs. You need a guy like Jimmy Butler. Because he brings like that aura and that magic where he elevates everybody else around him. You know, that's what Tatum does también, and that's what all these superstar guys do. But Jimmy has proven in the last couple of years, he does it better than everybody. Because look at this team that's around him. Okay, look at the teams that have been episode. No one fucking thinks no one ever puts the Heat in contention for anything any year. Even the year when we were number 1. They were giving it to somebody else. We're going to be okay. We've got enough guys. Guys have just got to play. Guys have got to want it, and guys got to play hard. If guys want it, guys play hard, and on this team, we match up. We can beat anybody in the Eastern Conference. Like, for sure, we can beat anybody in a 7-game series in the Eastern Conference. That is not like a far-fetched lie. That is not being crazy. That's not being a Miami fan. No. We can beat anybody in the Eastern Conference in a 7-game series. The West is who we have a consistent problem with. And it's not just us. It's everybody in the East. Everybody in the East right now just doesn't match up really well to the West. Like the best teams in the West seem to always get the best of the best teams on the East. So, yeah. That's who we really ultimately have to worry about. And I think if we can really make this bigger lineup with Jovic and make Marquez work a little bit better, I think we're gonna make some noise in the playoffs again. And then what's beautiful this year is that because of what we did last year, you can get what happened tonight, which is if we go up against Milwaukee, right, and we're playing at Milwaukee, and anytime that we're up on them or we're playing them hard or we do really well, it's always going to put doubt in the minds of all those fans. They're going to constantly be reminded that the previous year they got knocked out. Look at how we had a great record and we got knocked out. We got knocked out by the Heat. They remember us beating them before they won the title, that we would always beat them all the time. Even after they won the title that year, that's the year that they beat us 4-0 after we were coming out of the bubble. We didn't have a lot of time to rest. So it was like they even after that we were beating them. So these guys know that we can beat them. So if you give them a moment of doubt, that they have doubt creeping them, I mean, that shit will spread. That shit spreads, man. And that shit spreads into other games, and that's something that the Heat can have in their back pocket for if they face the Bucks, if they face the Knicks, and if they face the Celtics. Especially the Celtics. Because once that fan base is that fan base at this point respects the Heat. They ain't stupid. They can't be stupid. You can't be stupid. I know you're really good, and I know you got this shit, but you can't assume, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sweep the Heat this year. No. No. But we do need Jimmy. We will need Jimmy, especially against the Celtics. We need Jimmy for the Celtics. We need him. We just need him. That's a for sure thing. As much as I want to say no, I think that he can still take the Celtics without him. No, that's the one team that we do need it, because we can beat. You see it. We saw it today. We can beat the Bucks. We should win tomorrow, man. When I was first talking about tomorrow's game, I totally forgot that Embiid was out. Now that I know he's out, we should win tomorrow, even with them having Lowry. And Lowry's going to play good. Warning you right now, Lowry's going to make some shots. If we let Lowry get open, he's going to make some shots. He's going to try and beat us. He's going to try and do something. He's going to try and go against us. They'll probably start him. So just be ready for that. I don't know. I find it funny that Rozier goes down and Lowry signs. I would have imagined maybe he would have wanted to sign again with the Heat, go back with us, but he wants to start, so that's probably what they're doing over there. So, I like Lowry. He even though he did enough here. I know he didn't do enough in the sense that we didn't win a title, but he had his moments, and it wasn't like a totally bad run. Yeah, we got mad at him a couple of times, but in the end, I have no gripes with Lowry at all. There were good times and bad, I guess. But yeah, so we're gonna leave it right there, right? Leave it right there. Yeah, let's leave it right there. Because if we're gonna do this tomorrow, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. So I want to make sure I'm done before tomorrow. So we're ending this right now. All right. So here we go. Cultura. 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 However you say it, that's how you say it now and forever. I am Studio Mogura. Studio MOGURA. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the Cash App. Hit me up at my book. Buy it on Amazon and on Barnes & Noble for the hardcover. Full Moon Nights. Chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. It's all my adventures as a raver, doing crazy stuff, doing crazy things. So check it out. Check out my octotaco.com. It's my comic shop and my blog. Also check out my TeePublic with the official Heat Cultura t-shirt. Buy the official Heat Cultura t-shirt. You can get it right now at TeePublic. So check out TeePublic Studio Mogura. And then also check out my Spotify playlist with my entire discography dating back all the way to 1999 up until last year with my latest release, The Reflection Binds You from Seeing the Truth. Check it out. Please listen to my music. That's the best and easiest way to support me. Buy my books. Check out my comics. Also check out my global comics. You can find International Horror Association on globalcomics.com, I think is what it is. Comics with an X. So please check that out as well. And there's a lot of things going on. So I'm trying to like just get myself organized and get myself in a way that I can start pumping out content again, because it's just I'm a little scatterbrained right now and having like health issues with like my plantar fasciitis and with the hernia. So that's making it hard to just do things, you know, because every time I do things, like the next day I'm just like I'm paying for it. So so I just, you know, we're just trying to figure that out. But so we'll be here tomorrow if they win and it's a good game. If they win and it's bullshit, I'll probably do it still anyways. If they lose, get the fuck out of here. We're not doing this, okay? I'm not wasting my Hiculturas on losses anymore. Okay? So if you want more Hicultura, you tell this team to win more. But remember, it's not about the wins. It's just about getting these 7-game stretches, which is why you don't really need a Hicultura every single game. You really don't. You don't need me to come in here and talk about Hicultura during a loss. Okay? If you want to hear about how the team lost and stuff like that, you go to all the other podcasters. We here, you know, we don't waste our fucking time on a goddamn fucking loss. Or that's what we're going to do. We're not going to waste our time on that shit anymore. Why? Go fuck yourself. Get out of here. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be back here. And we're going to do that, and it should be fun. It'll be Valentine's Day, something. You know how it is. Although Kevin Love kind of had it today. Kind of had it. I didn't know there was a game tomorrow, so that's why I dropped it today. Because, you know, Kevin Love. But we'll see tomorrow. We'll see how Love plays tomorrow on Valentine's Day. That's going to be, look out for that. Look out for that, okay? And, don't freak out. Just freak out.